Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Tim, Mr. Meaningful Work. Welcome to another edition of ZAP, Z Amazing Pod, where we talk to Gen Z about Gen Z stuff, the likes, the dislikes, the red flags, the green flags, the motivators, the X, all of that stuff. And I am super excited. I feel like I'm standing in the presence of a superstar. We got Mr. Ashton Kutcher. Now, I don't want to, I know I have an interesting last name. It's not on here, but how do you pronounce your last name properly?
Korchan.
We got Mr. Ashton Korchan. Welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Looking forward to talking about it all, getting into it, man.
Mr. Ashton is a podcaster, and I found him because as I was trying to get ready for the Amazing Pod, I was like, who do I need to be talking to, right? Who are the subject matter experts? I am not a Gen Z. I identify in my soul and in my spirit, but my bald head and my aching back identifies as another generation. But I was like, look, who do I need to be talking to? I did a Google search. I had somebody do some curation for me, and Mr. Ashton came up, and my man is out here crushing it on his Gen Z Hoops podcast. But I'm not going to want to say all that stuff. We have a question that we ask all of our guests. WRUFF. What are you famous for? Now, when you spell it out, WRUFF, it actually looks like rough, like a dog's bark. So I'm going to invite you to give me your biggest dog bark.
Ruff.
You gave me the double. I'm here for it. Ruff, ruff. Big dogs. My man, so tell me, what are you famous for, bro? What do people know you for?
Man, I kind of would have to say being a gym rat, honestly. Like, always working hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people know me for always being in the gym. I still play basketball in college right now. I'm a sophomore currently at Hobart and Williamsmith colleges. We just won our first game against St. John Fisher yesterday.
Let's go.
But yeah, I would say being a gym rat, I'm always looking to work on my game. There'll be times on the weekends when, being a college student, we all go out and have a good time and stuff like that. People call me, where are you at? I'm getting up shots on the gun and stuff like that. Sometimes people think it's annoying that I choose to go to the gym to work out instead of socializing and stuff like that. But that's kind of how I've always been prone since I was in high school, since I was in middle school. And that's just where you find me. I'm always there two times a day, sometimes shooting, then practice right after later in the day. But yeah, I would say I'm famous for being a gym rat, I'd say.
Dude, I love that. You hear of all the greats, all the basketball greats, and some of the habits that they started forming early, some of the things that they did that were probably unconventional for their age and time, right? Like being able to be out in the gym or shooting 1,000 shots or, all of these different things, and that set them up for greatness. So it's dope that you have that level of work ethic. I think one of the things that folks talk about when they're generalizing Gen Z is they don't have work ethic and they're lazy and all that. Have you heard that before, or is that just me?
Yeah, I've heard that. People think we're really privileged at the end of the day, and we don't work as hard for things. Things are just given to us. You see all these jobs, social media influencers and stuff like that. My mom always says to me, man, your generation doesn't really get it out of the mud anymore. You know what I mean? But I'm
who's trying to get it out the mud? Just because you got it out the mud, we finessed it. I'm saying we, I'm Gen Z. But we finesse. We work. I think work ethic is different, right? I think there's a different type of grind, and a different type of hustle, right? Talking about working smarter versus harder, or using other tools that are available to do that. But you've talked a lot about basketball, dude. I want to hear your story. We're going to go into the work that you're doing with Gen Z Hoops, but tell me a little bit about, if you were to give me a fast-forwarded version of your story and why sports, particularly basketball, is so important to you. Talk to me about that, dude.
Oh man, it was talk about love at first sight. When I was younger,
basketball, is that your story?
Yeah, it's something I've been in love with my whole life, if I'm being honest with you. My mom's a really big basketball junkie, huge Miami Heat fan, Dwayne Wade fan. Her sister, huge Dwayne Wade fan. So it kind of drew me into the game. My mom, we had this wooden backboard at our old house and stuff like that. She used to rebound for me all the time when I was out there. People cut a little piece of the tree that was hanging into the hoop so I could shoot out there. But I would say I came in, during that time, like I'm young. It's probably like first grade, second grade. Like Lynn's sanity is taking over New York because I'm from Queens at the end of the day. So I go home and I'm like, oh, Jeremy Lin this, Carmelo this, best player in the world, this, that, and the third. And then my mom comes, wait, let me show you who the best player in the world is. And at the time, LeBron James was on the Miami Heat, right?
Yeah.
So funny thing, it was that weekend the Knicks were actually playing the Heat at the Garden. So then one thing I remember, I told this many times in my podcast before too. I remember J.R. Smith throws like a bad pass. LeBron picks the passing lane, goes other way, boom, down the other end, tomahawks it down. Fell in love with the Miami Heat, and LeBron James is my idol from that point forward. And I just like wanted to keep training, get better, learn how to play the game. And next thing you know, I'm playing AAU. Go off to a boarding school to play. I've dealt with injuries throughout the way and stuff like that, which ultimately I ended up redshirting my first year. That made me like kind of tap into some other like sense of hard work, because it's like for the first time in my life last year, like basketball wasn't like there for me.
Wow.
Like I wasn't suiting up for games, so kind of hit that adversity. And it made me work 20 times harder to kind of like achieve my goal, because it was like really showed me how much it really meant to me, and I kind of see it like flashing before my eyes.
Yeah.
Next thing, coach gives me my jersey this season. I saw every single jersey I've ever worn in that moment, like going through my.
It's like a movie.
Before my eyes, it was crazy. And like every time I put that jersey on, I'm just so thankful for like how far I've come. I'm playing in college. That's always been my dream. And I've met a lot of good people along the way. It took me to play in Greece, like a country.
Dude, what?
Yeah, that's actually, we'll get into it. That's kind of how I got affiliated with Gen Z Hoops, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, like I met a lot of cool people, great connections along the way. The game has taken me to many places, and I'm just really thankful for especially those people who have helped me along the way, especially the last year during that dark time. But yeah, I love basketball. That's
Dude, I think the thing that I love about the story is the not giving up, right? Where it seems like, for somebody that doesn't know what a red shirt or red jersey, what does that mean for folks that are not like basketball heads? Like, what does that mean when you don't get your actual jersey, you get the red? Are you injured? Are you on the practice squad? Like, what does that mean?
Well, since I play at a Division III school right now, Hobart's a Division III school. So for D1, it's like you're a practice player, right? Okay. D3, since you can't really do that, like I had to be like a student manager last year. So I was like, I was sitting there like a polo.
And like,
yeah, I wasn't getting water or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like if they asked me to, I'm like a good sport. I'm not like a selfish guy at the end of the day. I'll do anything for the team and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, I was there like with a clipboard, keeping stats, stuff like that, like working the clock. And then I would work out before practice. I work out after practice. Wake up in the morning. I lift on my own. So it's like you kind of like need to like stay ready, so you don't have to like keep being ready, so you don't have to like get ready in the moment.
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was that? I mean, because somebody else that maybe doesn't have as strong of mental fortitude would have just given up. Right? It's like, you know what? I'm injured. I can't do this. I'm going to pivot to something else. What was it? Is it because basketball is, for lack of a better word, like all like there was no other option? Like what kept you in it for those that are in a similar generation and that have experienced injury or setback or something that moves them away from the goal? What kept you in it?
Well, funny thing, he told me I was redshirting last year, so I was getting ready to walk away. You know what I mean? But people reminded me, like my mom, trainers, even friends here, like friends on the women's team, like my roommate now, like he doesn't play basketball, but like people like that, they're like, I don't know, like Dwayne Wade actually said like a really famous thing, like you can have that self-doubt all the time, but there's some people that are like, you can lean on people to like bring you back into it, raise your confidence. So my confidence is at all-time low. I remember one of my friends, like I was like walking around like one of the freshman dorms last year, like on a weekday. She was like, why are you not coming to the gym? She would kill me if I like said her name, but like, I might expose like who it is, but like, but like she was like, what are you doing? Like, you look like an idiot right now. Like, get in the gym, come with me, get back in the gym. So I went to the gym with her. We went and got shots up, and I'm really thinking in that moment, like, wow, I like missed this. I'll be an idiot. Like, give up all this, like give up all the work I put into this all my life.
Yeah.
And stop chasing my goal.
Yeah.
So then I kind of got back in the gym and like followed down that path. Lo and behold, a lot of like mental stress on the way there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of doubt, a lot of like self-reflection to get to this point. But I'm really thankful, and I feel really relieved that I like finally accomplished it at the end of the day. That's perseverance at the end of the day, though.
It is. It's perseverance and it's people. I think what I'm hearing is that it's your perseverance, but it's the partnership with your family, with your friends, your mentors, your coaches, and things like that really help pull folks out. So for anybody that's listening, whether you're Gen Z, millennial, boomer, whatever, right, and you're going through something that is tough, is a derailer for what you thought your goal was, lean on people, right? Find a friend, find a partner, find somebody that can get you out of that mental space and bring you up to what you do. Like, that hard conversation, like, bro, you look like a dummy, you look like an idiot, get your ass up, let's go. Like, come on. Like, sometimes you need that tough love, because you can't do that to yourself, right? You have to have somebody that pulls you out of that. So that's dope, man. I love to hear it, man. Well, dude, we're coming to the bottom of the pod here. I have 4 questions that I pose at the end for my guests. But before we do that, I tested this whole thing out and I got it to work. You think about basketball, you think about practice. I lift weights, I go to the gym, I have music that I listen to. It's a vibe, right? It's how you get into the zone. So I always like to include some music and some vibing. So invite us into your vibe, Ash. Like, what kind of music are you listening to? If you were to pick a song right now that we can play for a few seconds, what would that be, dude?
So before my games recently, like I've been in this mode where like I'm kind of like obsessed with football. So like, the one guy that always comes to my mind, Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Johnny Football at the end of the day. So I've been listening to like Draft Day by Drake a lot recently. He's like Draft Day, Johnny Manziel.
Let's go. We're about to pop that off right now. We're going to enter into this vibe.
Side bitch, we stay winning. Oh man, I had to do it for you. I had to do it for you. Yeah. Suits and ties yelling out, pay the guys, man, I had to do it for you. I had to do it for you. I had to do it for you. Oh man, I had to. Sometimes I laugh with God about how you can't stop me. I'm his darkest angel probably, but he still got me. Yeah, I'm getting my...
YouTube's about to shut me down. I'm about to go play the game right now. Dude, that gets you in the zone, bro.
Yeah, it really does. Like recently, if I'm being honest with you, me and my roommate, earlier in the fall, we watched the Johnny Manziel documentary.
Yeah.
Like, we've always been like me and him like kind of always been fans of Johnny Manziel, but like just really watched that documentary, kind of gave us like a new perspective. Now everything is like Manziel this, Manziel that. Me going out on my birthday, November 1st, me and the guys went out. I was wearing like a Manziel jersey and stuff like that, just having a good time. But we started like sending and then the reels start coming up, all his like famous reels and stuff like that, and just sending them out.
Yeah.
Like jokes. Yeah. It's great though. Great song. So that really gets me in the zone recently.
I'm here for it. All right, dude. So 4 questions. You pick one. The 4 questions are: what's the most important thing going on in your life right now? What's something that you're really good at that you can teach us right here, right now? If you could spend 24 hours doing one thing, what would it be? And what's one thing about another generation that makes absolutely no sense to you? Which one of those 4 do you pick?
Let's see. 20. I'll do the 24 hours one.
24 hours. If you could do one thing for 24 hours, what would it be, Ash?
I would probably say argue about sports with friends. I kind of like that. Or argue about something with my friends.
Yeah, dude. The question is, I've never lived anywhere long enough to claim any like affinity to a team. Like I moved around so much, so often. I am always amazed about how much info and data like folks can store and the recall of historic games and decisions that were made and points that were scored and records that, like, how, because that's what usually fuels these arguments, right? It's like you're putting this person's stats against that person's stats, or, you know, that trend with this trend, and like all that stuff. Like, where do you keep all of that, dude?
If I'm being honest, like, a lot of the basketball knowledge I got from a young age was playing 2K. If I'm being honest with you, I read all the history books and stuff like that, all the classic teams, and then like kind of just watching the game and watching the games on TV, and then also you just Google stuff on your free time, like, what is LeBron James shooting from the field this year? And then stuff pops up on your feed too. Like recently,
the algorithm will pick it up and then it'll start feeding you stuff.
Like recently, I don't mean to cut you off there, but sorry. Recently, I say argue about sports because, like, in the locker room recently, that's all I've been doing. Like, the Yankees go to the World Series, so I'm like arguing about the Yankees, stuff like that. Like, that's my team, stuff like that. All these guys coming at me, like, oh, they're gonna lose. Sadly, they lost. It's
dude.
Miami, like, I support the Miami Heat because, like, family reasons. But they just been getting on me recently. Everyone's been getting on me. Oh, the Heat this. People say I'm stubborn in that sense, but I'm still going to go back like, oh, Tyler Hero just had 40. What do you mean? When Jimmy comes back, we're going to be fine. Like, I hit him with those things. But, yeah, that's why I say argue about sports. But I'm really an argumentative person, too, like, at my point of view. Even when I know I'm wrong about certain things, I'll still go.
Look, that's stand on this hill. I'm about to, even if it's the wrong hill, I'm standing on it.
Yeah, that's a bad habit of mine, but, like, I kind of have to, like, own up to a few things recently, but, like, it's fine. I figure it out with good conscience at the end of the day.
Yeah, nah, you're good. Well, dude, man, I appreciate it chatting with you, man. I love the work that you're doing, the learning that you're passing on to folks through the Gen Z Hoops podcast, the guests that you bring on, and then just your own personal discipline and trajectory and networking and the power of partnerships that you are promoting in your own kind of personal and professional life is something that I think a lot of folks can learn from. If there's one thing that you can end us with, if there was a Gen Z billboard that you can put one thing that you want folks to remember about your generation, what would that be as we sign off?
Like, there's one thing I had to, like, leave you guys with. I would say just keep chasing the dream at the end of the day. Never stop working hard, because at the end, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to, like, tell you can't do something, and you're going to start believing that at the end of the day. Just never doubt yourself. Always believe in the work that you put in, and I think good things will happen. Don't be afraid to, like, lean on certain people throughout your journey, because at the end of the day, those people are always going to look out for you. They'll always be in your corner, and your journey kind of becomes their journey as well. So you can't let yourself down. You can't let those people down as well. So just keep going with whatever you're trying to get done in life. That's what I
love it. I love it. All right. Well, we're about to play this song out as we end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. If you like this episode, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit me at Tim at MrMeaningfulWork.com if you have any recommendations for guests that we should have on the show. Follow Gen Z Hoops. If you want to learn more about basketball, the game, technical, front of the house, back of the house, follow Ashton. Guys, thank you so much. Signing off. Talk to you later. Peace.
Last night I tried some raw oysters.